video is a little different from our regular series of roasting AI startups. I think we've gone through the top 10 or at least the top 20 startups that we had a lot of potential in the agentic AI and trying to solve use cases around customer support, chat interface, sales, onboarding, replacing your call centers and things like that as part of our series of roasting agentic AI startups. That's what we've been doing so far. But today, I wanted to take a look at. Again, another component of AI is are these agentic, not really agentic but IDE platforms, which essentially do a lot of the helps when it comes to coding and building projects through ways of selecting models, using multiple models that are available at our disposal, and LLMs to build projects, solve and build interfaces and features for your applications given enough and good context. So that's what we'll be doing today. We As part of that project, what we'll start to do and our goal for today is essentially for our own in website that I have. So this is a website of my own where I share things around cybersecurity, startups, and product development and tech, everything that I learn. And I've published a few blog articles around the UX 4G design system, which we also covered in a video. We have the Indian patent revolution and how we built and vibe coded patent pilot, which is essentially a platform which helps you identify and create and look out for your ideas and inventions and get them patented across multiple patent offices. And we look at on the cybersecurity side on Google's cybersecurity power move, the cred black hole, and how the cred platform works on the product side. But essentially our goal for today is writing a new blog post essentially around what we have done around the startups, and the roast of the startups that we did in our past few videos, and talk about those agentic AI startups in one of a new blog post here for the month of September. Additionally, what we will try do is download the code for our agentic AI startup landscape and the dashboard and the tier maker. Primarily the dashboard where we have listed all of the 108 agentic AI startups based in India and their code and details about them, how they are relevant, what do they score, what's their website, LinkedIn article, and the analysis from Gemini itself. What we'll try to do is embed this into our website as a new section called project. So what I want to do is blog who am I and a section called projects, where one of the projects would be this agentic AI startups dashboard listing all of these startups for users to look at and explore on their own, and host it live for anyone to interact with. So those are the two things. So our goal for today, let me probably just write it down. Let me see if I can do that. Text, right? So let's write text. Essentially, number one today is post a new blog on agentic AI startups. Number two, new projects section listing top Indian agentic AI startups. And how we'll do that? We'll essentially make use of Cursor in this case. So Cursor is my choice of IDE, similar to VS Code, but has a chat and an agent mode where I can prompt it with certain instructions, and it can generate the whole code for me. I've done that previously, and even if you look at our current website, a lot of the sections on the home page are new, and they have all been done with help of Cursor and the agentic AI module in essence. So that's what we'll start and run through and run with for now and see how it goes. But let me first just get this right on the task for today, right? Let's see if I can fit this on the screen here. I'll put it at the bottom, right, or probably at the top. That's what we are trying to do. And what, let's also try having a smaller screen, and probably what we can also do here, I think bottom looks better, it's more readable there. What we can also do, I don't know if I can start a timer here and see how much time we take to get each of these tasks done. But what we can also do is uh, timer, let's see, stopwatch, let's just see how much time we take to get our thing done, right? Now this is going to be our task. Let's see how quickly we can finish it off. I will put this on a new window so that we can come across and look the amount of progress we've made. So first things first, post a new blog post on agentic AI startups. Now I think the good part here is I do have an head start here. Let me bring up cursor for you if you're not seen. I think you should be familiar. If you're familiar with VS Code, you should be familiar with this. This is the code for my website. I write down things in Markdown, push it onto GitHub, and deploy it automatically via Netlify. Right. So as long as and when a new commit is done, it looks at the code being generated, rebuilds the website and the code, and then just publishes it for me. So currently, the latest blog that I have is August 30 around UX4Z and the design system. But let's also publish this new one. So I did start a blog already. I got some things done already written down. So I have created a new file called Agentic AI Startups, listed the date and the time. What we can do is probably just quickly deploy, run it locally, and see how it looks. Let's see, let me just run it on the CLI. All we need to do actually is Hugo. So this is a static site built using Hugo server. So we'll just run a local instance of Hugo where the website is I think I'm in the right place. So watch for changes, agentic AI startups. Okay, I think there is a type. I hope this should work. Line number 5. Let's see. Am I doing something wrong? Categories, product, AI, software. Let's give it the categories. I keep running into this error now. What's wrong with line number 5? You know what? Maybe let's just ask add to chat and see, help me fix this error and deploy the site locally. Let's see what it does. Currently will please use it. I don't need to use ChatGPT 5. I can just switch it to auto and let cursor figure out the best model to solve for this problem. Okay, let's run this command. This is on the site page. I can see the issue. There's a YAML formatting error. Okay, looks like it fixed that. Let's run it. Oh yeah, perfect, perfect. So I think now the site is deployed. Yeah, I see it. Localhost 1313. Let's see. Yeah, so now the site is deployed. I can go to the blogs page and I should hopefully see my blog, Roasting Agentic AI Startups, where we explore India's agentic AI ecosystem, reveal remarkable startups and AI's potential to solve customer problems. We do not 100 highlighted come in this video on blah blah blah. Yeah, so I essentially gave it the YouTube video link and I told it to figure out the best way to cover this information over a blog and make it interesting for users. So I think that's what it has done. So let's see if I can close the chat tab. How to close the chat? I want to actually make edits here and have them reflect. Watch the full video. Well, the full video link is not here, so I'll try to find it out and paste it. YouTube. This is about Yellow AI. So the link should be the following. Let's also ask it to improve. I need the chat interface. Yeah. What we can also do is reference the file agentic. Yeah, and agentic AI startup. So it's already referencing that open tab, which is the blog link. What I'll do is give it a prompt to improve the content of the blog, where I'm actually essentially as the creator of the video trying to, as part of this blog, cover details around how I went about reviewing these startups, what I learned from them, and cover all of those details. I've already provided a link to the YouTube video where essentially I cover the same details and review through these startups and my experience trying them out, having a demo of the same and walking through them. So reorder and rearrange the content to be more engaging, more thoughtful, more uh, on the point, and with context referencing how we currently have all of this information available around agentic AI startups that we review. So so as you can see, I wrote this prompt down very easily. I didn't have to type anything. I just pronounced what I needed to get done via cursor. And this is through a tool called Whisper Flow. And what it essentially does, it has a hotkey within your system where you essentially look at all of this in, you can prompt it, you can dictate what you want it to get done. And it's especially in cases where you are doing vibe coding or essentially giving multiple prompts to these systems to do and work the way you want it to. This is how you can uh, like simplify and get your work done quicker. I see someone in the chat, Sanket Gunali. Hi Sanket, how are you? So now once that is done, as you can see, cursor automatically creates a to-do list of items on what it needs to do and essentially goes from there. Let me also try moving my if I do it, let me make myself a little smaller so that you can see what's going on. Hi Sanket, I don't know if you're still online. But yeah, essentially, as you can see, these are all the edits it's making, where it is going through the list of items that it needs to perform and execute and look at, and from there going about its way based on the prompt I've provided, and improving the blog and its content as a first person user, where I am actually the same person who made the video but trying to comment and put it out live in a written format. So that's what we are trying to do. And now that I have been notified things are done, I can see a summary of things. Major improvements made: personalized introduction, added review methodology context, restructure each startup section, added personal experiences, enhanced personal insights, improved conclusions, better engagement. So it did all of that. Now how we can look at that? Let's just reduce that and come back to this. And so read through the ones that are highlighted in green, which is the edits it made, and the ones in red are the ones are the changes that it actually made. So it started off my deep dive into India's agentic AI startup ecosystem after spending weeks researching and testing over testing. I did not really test hundreds, testing multiple, because I think I did test a few, but nowhere close to 100. Multiple Indian AI startups have gained invaluable insights into how these companies are reshaping customer experience. As someone who's on an experience with this one, I want to share the review process, what I discovered. My journey began. This is good. Let me also zoom in if it's a little too small on the text and the font size for you guys. How are Indian startups actually implementing? To answer this, I didn't just read about the materials or segments. Four startups that changed my perspective through my testing for yellow servums for second wheel, each represents a different facet. Blah blah blah. My experiences. Yeah, the sad thing about this whole thing is I don't really remember, given I've tested so many startups now in this agentic AI space through our last few live streams. I forget what they actually do. I remember Servam because they are building their own models and are innovating a lot with working uh, with the public and the private bodies and building their LLM solving for multiple use cases. But I don't really remember all the other ones, for example, in this list. uh, Servam I remember my experience, so let's check. Is just isn't just translating to the Indian language, they are building AI that thinks, understand culture nuances. Yes, correct. I tested their Hindi and Tamil models. They did just blah blah blah. Yes, yeah, for the most part, let's just keep all for now. It seems interesting. What I also want to do now that all of this blog is written, I don't know if it can do it or not, but I do have timestamps from this video, right? So I've created and actually added timestamps. Let's just go and redirect to this video analysis, and what I can do is help go to the description in this case, right? Let me bring that up and put the time window also in the chat. And what I also want to do is also provide the rank that I made as part of that video where I ranked these in a tier list. I will also provide that screenshot as an image for reference and tell it to include it in as part of the analysis and the information in the blog. and provide timestamps here in the description. Now now see how I use Whisper essentially to narrate the whole occurrence and what I wanted to do from here based on the context and information I've attached. So I've actually attached the YouTube video where I review through this content. I want you to go through this video and identify patterns where each of these startups were reviewed. I've also put the time of those sections within the video where I discuss around each of these startups. So I want you to also, if possible, refer and watch the video and the content at those timestamps and use that analysis and feedback that I cover as part of this blog under those sections of startups where the details are explained. And at the end of it, I also made a tier list of these startups mentioned in the blog, as well as a few startups that I also reviewed in one of my previous videos as well, for which I would also want to link and add a CTA for users to look at as well, for all any other agentic AI startups if they are interested in knowing what people are innovating with these products in the Indian agentic AI space, and write that down. So I want all of this content to be part of my blog now, and in the same tone and manner of keeping it engaging, helpful to users to listen to and take action on. So now you can see Whisper actually is trying to Whisper actually try to process whatever I prompted it to and then put it in the chat. Now let's just actually see paste. So yeah, as you can see, it did paste. It also mentioned the images, and I don't know why it may refer to the blog. So with Whisper, it can actually tag files within these agentic AI platforms, but I don't want it to do that. I actually just wanted to refer to the image in the chat that I've added. So I've provided a YouTube video link. I've provided the context around the timestamps of the video where all of these startups have been mentioned. I'm also providing it with additional context that I just dictated via Whisper, and I wanted to improve and add it as part of my blog. Let's see how it does. So now it'll process, think about it, probably create a to-do list of items to execute. So it'll analyze, and then go through each of the steps. So pretty interesting. Now while all of this is being done, I can actually chill and do something else. So if this is going to take a longer time, and see how it does, right? So looks like it has done 2 out of the 7 steps where it has analyzed the video and is now trying to update the sections after watching it, which is pretty interesting. Now as you can see, I here we're not really coding, we are actually trying to optimize our blog post that we drafted initially and make it work, but it would work the same way when you're coding as well. So if I'm coding an application from scratch, or even in this case if I'm trying to build the app myself from scratch, I could just tell it that this is the interface and this is the UI I wanted to replicate. And I've done that. For example, initially my blog did not have all of these sections within the home page, like the recent blog post or key interest, or even my intro here. All it used it in the home, all it had was this image and these icons to redirect to, right? So but I using cursor, I prompted it to make it work and make it add these subsections. And because I was not really familiar with how static code is written, where I use templates of Hugo and their own structure of naming schemas and edit the files to get the job done, but using cursor I was able to, and also add an image of myself in a certain format, align it to the center, make it circular, and so on and so forth. So all of this that you see, the sections are actually generated or enhanced by Hugo on top of the base website I had. Blog is pretty familiar, pretty similar from for a while. I've been writing from 2020, and the Who Am I section is also the same as we had previously and tries to get the job done. But I don't know what's happening here, so let's just go back. Or maybe it's just glitching for now. So let me just open. It was not this port, it was 1313. So let's just go back, and we'll go back to cursor and see. Looks like it has already done the whole to-do list and gone through the entire list and actually done the thing. So let's look at what it did. Video specific insights for each startup, how I ranked them. So it read through the image and the tiers I provided them and aligned them, completed tier list system that I put, additional startup sections it added, enhanced key takeaways, comprehensive CTAs to actionable next steps on how to explore them, tier based recommendation, testing feature, enhance the video reference with more, connected blog link line, great, maintain consistency between written and video. So it did all of this. Let's just review and see how it looks like on the blog page before we accept all of these changes. So that's also the good part about it. My deep dive into agentic. Let's I think this looks a little odd between the title and this thing. So what I'll do, probably make it a little smaller. Yeah, I think this looks better. Probably 3 is fine. Yeah, my deep dive after spending weeks researching. I don't want so much space. This looks unnecessary. My journey began with how I intend to answer this. Blah 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 blah. 4 startups through my testing and years of servums got stack where loop. Each represents a different facet. Yellow AI where enterprise meets. Price gate AI express initial setup. Unlike chatbots, AI agent understands the platform. Yeah, most of it is true. It is in Hindi, in Tamil, the quality was among the yeah. I don't think I tested in Tamil. I actually tested in Telugu. So maybe let's just fix that. Maybe it did not actually go through the entire video because it made all of these changes pretty quickly or in quick enough time window. So let's just go back to Sarvam where we are talking about it. Tamil and Telugu actually is what I tested. Maybe it doesn't know the difference between the two. AI driven sales acceleration platform STR where loop is 8 year. Yeah, if I remember, Servam and Squad Stack were on the top. Let's look at our image once again. Yeah, everything else currently empty. Additional startups worth exploring. Yeah. Key takeaways: localization is everything, accessibility, human context in the bigger picture. It does redirect me to the video. Redirection. Perfect. I like it. I think we are good here. I'll just accept all of these changes. What I want to do, embed the video towards the end of the blog for users who want to watch my research I did live on a live stream. Let me also provide it the embed code for video I got from YouTube. Now this should be something simple I can do as well, but I just want to, I think I'm getting used to AI doing most of this stuff now. But anyways, let's me find out how I can share this and potentially also get users to embed and watch this video from my blog post as well, and also provide backlinks and links back to the startup websites as well as hyperlinks, right? I think that will help and go a long way. But anyway, I am watching and trying to find out how I can get the embed from YouTube. Should be pretty simple. I'm doing it on the other screen. Share. Yeah. I think getting there. Embed, and this is the embed options. Show player controls. Yeah, why not? This is the embed code I got. So let's just help cursor now run this thing and embed the whole video. Embed video, add hyperlinks, add backlinks. Perfect. So it has narrowed down my 3 steps I wanted it to execute and is now doing the same. Okay, it has embedded the YouTube video. I don't see it maybe. Oh yeah, that's a view reference. Save job for me. Now in this case we don't startups is trying to do that. We'll probably get number 2 tomorrow. Probably in the morning I'll try to do and spend some time where we can actually also add a new project section and list the agentic AI startup. Let's see how much time we have spent on this. We've almost spent 18 minutes, or no, almost half an hour on this, which is fine. And I think you can see the video and I can actually play it. And does it not play? Yeah, it does play in this interface itself.